Hey, this is Pastor Mike. Thanks for joining me for PerkStream today. By now, I hope that you know that the resolution that we voted on Sunday did not meet the supermajority requirement. So I imagine that you may have different reactions to this. You may be calm or exasperated. You may be relieved. You may be disappointed. You could be anywhere on the spectrum. You might be wondering, what were people thinking one way or the other? Well, here's my concern. The vote was close, and it may cause somebody to say, "Well, are we divided? Are we falling apart?" And I don't believe that that's the case. I believe that we could get bound up in fear and anxiety, but we don't have to be if we walk and keep in step with the Holy Spirit. This one resolution does not define our identity as a congregation. This is not what we're all about. It is one expression that we are working through together and trying to find ways to give expression to who we are and whether this connection is the best connection. But it hasn't changed the fundamental reason that we exist as a congregation. We serve Jesus and we have this mission. We are here to inspire people to follow Jesus, and we will do that best as we walk in step with the Spirit. So let's not let the resolution define us. Rather, let's let the aftermath define us. And let me use these words from Paul to define that. For you were called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But if you bite and devour one another, watch out that you are not consumed by one another. But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. So in our culture, we have freedoms that we cherish: freedom to assemble, freedom to vote, freedom to worship, freedom of speech. And these individual freedoms give us latitude for how we act and live in this culture. And there are freedoms in the Spirit, but those freedoms are not the same. While the freedoms of our culture give us freedom for personal advancement, freedom in the Spirit gives us freedom for personal service, for personal worship, for personal focus outside of ourselves to what is in the interest of others. We have a different kind of freedom, and that freedom is a call to be with our brothers and sisters, to worship and serve together. It's a call to be doing what we have been given to do here at Perk Church. And if we get caught up in wondering who voted how and why they voted that way, and it becomes something that it makes us unsettled, then we're not living in that spirit of freedom that frees us from anxiety. Rather, we end up finding ways to devour one another. We can start chewing on each other. And Paul says, be careful, because you might actually consume each other. But then he says, but I say, if you walk in the Spirit, you will not gratify the desires of your flesh, which means then that you won't go down that path. So when we gather, let's be in step with the Spirit who glorifies Jesus and leads us in all truth. We as a church, we as your leadership team, I as your pastor am committed to the Scriptures and committed to walking in the Spirit. I'm asking you to walk with us. Let's walk by the Spirit, and we will not give in to fear. We will not give in to anxiety, and we will not give in to personal gratification. We are called to be free, so let's keep in step with the Spirit, and we will know His life-giving presence, and we'll be able to leave behind any poor after effects of anything that happens among us. So will you do that with me? God bless you today. Thanks for stopping by for this edition of PerkStream. I trust that you will walk in the Spirit and find His freedom. God bless.